Hey. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hello, Deb, Ben, Anna. How's everyone doing? Happy Monday. Princess is making herself a cup of coffee, so she'll be with me. She's going to make an entrance, I should say. Hello, Nikki. How are you? Teresa. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I'm in a very good mood for a change. I know. Hard to believe, but I'm in a very good mood. I had a good weekend. Um, I had a good Monday so far. Hello, John McGinnis. Happy Monday to y'all as well. Laura, Luann. We got to see Luann on Saturday for the first time in a little bit. And her husband, Mr. Excitement, Tony, you could tell Tony was ready for a ghost hunt. He walked in and he was just, okay, let's do this. Tony's just one of those kind of guys. Anyway, yeah, I'm in a good mood. We got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff coming up, some new stuff coming up that we're going to try to fit in. I mean, we are fitting in one thing, but it's more of a meeting type of thing. But we do have a request for an investigation that went back a ways from that German club. I don't remember what town that was. But we are going to try to do that. They wanted to wait till Oktoberfest. Their Oktoberfest was over, which was last weekend, I believe. So now they want us to come in. They want us to do it. So I need to figure out. It'll be during the week. We'll go there. We'll give it a look. I mean, why not, right? I mean, if they said they see shadow figures and things are going on there, and it's weird because it's one of those places where people have been there, going there for years, and say they never seen or heard anything, and yet there's other people now saying they have. That's why they want us to take a look, and whatever happens. Hey, Nicole, Patricia, but I'm pretty sure. I think we are going to do that one live. Hey, Laura. So I mean, you'll be able to see what happens as we see it. It's such a. If we showed you the pictures of it, looks like a building that was decorated, I think in like the 1970s, and they just left it that way. Hey, Karen, like the paneling on the wall, like the one main room is like again look like it's a time capsule, pretty cool. But yeah, we'll probably do that live, just to if they want to. I know they wanted to before, but that'll be cool to do if we could find a day in October to do it. It would be cool. If not, I'll have to wait till November. But they want us to do it. Reached out to me yesterday. Hey, Carrie. And I don't know. I want to do it. I just want to. I'm curious. You know. You never know. Hey, Kathy. You never know. So I want to have a look. So definitely. Hello, Lewis. How are you? So that's one thing that we're doing. Another thing that we're doing. One of the cool things about doing what we do, Kathy, how are you? Is that through the years it's always been the same. There's more places that reach out to us, and yeah, hey, what about our building? And they tell us the story of their building, and then they say that there's stuff going on there, but they wanted to work with paranormal. They want to have people in before, but they weren't sure, and other board members were there, and they weren't on board, and now they're into it and they want to do it. Hey, Terry, and they want us to come check it out. So we're meeting with them on Wednesday, and that place was a field hospital during the Revolutionary War, and it's got a pretty good history. So I'd love to check it out. You never know what's going on there. I mean, if a big battle went on right in that area, and they used it as a field hospital as well, which means some people didn't make it. She gives me signs from the side, like I don't even know what you're pointing at. But anyway,
you're so subtle.
Well, you're giving me cues and mouthing things. You got to develop cue cards and write them for me.
He's such a subtle dude. Hey, everybody. I made it. I had to have my hot drink first.
Okay. Don't worry. John starts and John gets the trucker moving, and then
I'm just the side piece.
you said it.
That's it.
So anyway, that place is kind of cool. Can't say where it is until we actually meet with them and figure out whether we're going to do something with them or not. But they seemed really into it. And again, they had heard about us from other places and wanted us to come in, and that's really cool, you know. So
hi, everybody.
yet another thing that we're looking into doing. That'll probably not be this year, but that'll be next year. But it's cool to add places, you know. I like the idea of bringing you guys to new places for new things, especially when these places have been around for a while, a long while.
Like this one that has that really cool, interesting connection to history and all the stuff that happened there.
Yeah.
That'll be exciting. So, yeah.
Especially, again, it was used at the field hospital. And if you know what the way the field hospitals were back then during the Civil War and Revolutionary War.
Brutal.
It was literally a bullet in the arm, they cut off your arm, bullet in the leg, they cut off your leg, people screaming, blood from the head. A lot of them didn't make it. And they died right in those field hospitals, you know? So might be some of that lingering, which again is interesting because you never know what kind of energy you're going to get from places like that. But we had an event this past weekend, another one. We have two coming up this weekend, Caldwell and the Baron. The Baron. It's not like the car, right? Do they still make the Baron? Or Baron still a car?
No.
Oh, I remember the Baron. But we're doing two this weekend. So we're moving. And again, people are reaching out about the mine tours. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. I just don't think we could physically.
We talk about it every time we do an event, coming back at night, and where we look at each other. And he literally said to me on Sunday after Saturday's event, and goes, "You know what? If we had to do,
I could.
If we had to do it right now, I could do it." And I said, "You're saying that before having to drive up there and do it?"
No, I mean, at that point, I had enough in me to do it. Like, I had to. I would have been hurting after.
I don't have any gas. I don't. I know I don't.
Well, then again,
I'd be like on an electric buggy.
Football teams, baseball teams, basketball teams. When the players get older and they can't perform like they used to,
then pay the rest of my contract and get yourself a young player.
Out with the old, okay in with the new. That's what you got to do. And again, if that's the way it goes, sorry, but you're gonna have to watch from the other side.
We talk about being realists. This body is starting to go, whoa.
Well, then again, like I said, gotta do what we got to do. Train doesn't stop just because one person can't work.
Just one person. Don't say it's just this.
Just
this one.
For me, no. If it was me, yeah, then the train would definitely stop. But you slow down a little.
I know I'm the sidecar. I'm the sidecar. I get it.
Sidecar piece. Like, which one? I see a theme here with you.
Whatever the case may be. But I'm keeping it real, man. I can't do Saturday. I can't do Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday with walking in a mine like for hours on end, just rotating and rotating. I would love to because they're fun. I love them, but I don't know. This year's a little bit rougher for me. Hopefully next year will be totally different. I'm a big Dr. Pepper.
Damn it, what'd I do with it? My violin. I wanted to play it while you did your little speech there.
Blah, 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 blah.
I got to get some music on this thing that I can play that violin music while you go on your, I can't. Uh-huh. Oh my God. I got to tell you, I am, we're going to get to the Inkscape in a minute. I'm cutting clips for the library presentation that we're doing, and I'm doing a mixture of things because I want to mix some stuff up and do it different this year.
Yeah.
So I got to the Sterling Hill Mine F clip, that we all know, so famous. The and what I kept doing was, I I I let it go forward to where she went under the gate and said, fuck, and then bought next to me, and I'd go back and forth and back fuck, fuck,
I'm
fuck.
in the kitchen working on stuff, and all I hear is this man
I
cracking
was
up
laughing so
from the other part of the
hard.
house, and I walk over and I go, "What is so funny?" He goes,
Oh.
"You are."
Oh, it was hilarious. Again, it's like watching a comedy movie.
It's nice that I'm
That
always.
I do have to make a gif.
No.
It never gets old. Never gets old. It's so funny when you see. Oh, John McGinnis, if you were to see it the way I'm gonna do it so it's side by side by side and put it up. But I had to, I had to mute the F word because we're doing it in a library and there may be kids there. Who knows who's going to be there? So it's. I was laughing. So
Come you don't do any pieces.
I had
of
my
you.
headphones because I've never run under a thing and screamed or ran
You
away from
hollered.
something. You know,
You've hollered. You've cursed. You've gotten startled.
Have you ever seen me run?
I don't think I've ever seen you run. No shame in that either.
Anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make Chris a protection jacket. So this way, even if she runs, she's still within the protection jacket, so she doesn't have to worry about a circle. The circle will be the jacket.
You're gonna need a
so
circle.
You'll be good. You'll be good like that.
Right.
But funny video. Oh, I can't. I'm watching it and I needed to cut it for something else, but I'm gonna go back to this and I'm just gonna cut that.
Who said I didn't have a sense of humor?
And have it on a loop.
I make you laugh all the time.
I'm gonna have it on a loop, and I guarantee if I put it up, they're gonna laugh their ass
off. Oh, I have no doubts. I mean, I've seen it and I laugh my ass off. It wasn't funny at the time. It's funny now. I'm not in the situation, but it's funny.
There are funny things that happen. Again, look, I enjoyed watching when Ghost Adventures first came on Travel. Zach had to fill up about a lot of Discovery when they went to Discovery Plus. Zach did a lot of 10 best haunted places, and then there was 10 best funniest moments.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
I was laughing at that stuff.
Yeah,
because
there's some funny stuff.
It was Aaron running. It was Zach. Wires were hanging, and he couldn't see him in the dark, and he thought something.
That's terrifying when something touches you and you can't see it.
There are funny things that happen. Mostly to you, I guess.
Unfortunately, I seem to be the butt of the joke, but yeah, I'm glad that I can provide the entertainment.
That's why, again, you have your role. Even if you're old and beat up, you still have a few good things that you do there that makes the rest of us enjoy it.
I can tell you I didn't feel old when my heart got pumping and I ran off that pulpit.
Wow.
I can tell you that. And I didn't feel old when I ran right in that mine and ducked underneath that chain fence. I didn't know I could bend that quick and hard. I just went, doop, doop. I bet you didn't think I could move that fast either, did you? Took you by surprise.
I'm not touching that comment at all. I ain't saying a dang word about that. You could think of that what you will and add your own caption to that one. But anyway, yeah, it was a good weekend. The weather was crappy. A really good weekend. I pray that if anybody's watching that we're in those affected areas, I hope you're okay, and I hope that it's not too bad for you. And a lot of people are like my family. They still don't have power or anything. Powers, but people. They're in Georgia. People had a lot worse. And I've got members in Florida and in Georgia, and the area in Georgia that got hit. There was a lot of destruction where my family is. Nobody got hurt, and they we've gone through this so many times with hurricanes. They literally were cutting trees before the storm even hit, which they can do. They have the capability because they're. We're going to get to that, Donna. We're going to wait for Chris to do her 2-hour weather. But I was talking to him, and I'm going to tell you how much I was talking to him today, just checking in on making sure everybody's okay. And my niece works at a store down there where people were actually coming in and pulling guns on people over water and stuff and ice. It was kind of crazy. So we're here, we're comfortable, but there's some weird stuff going on out there right now because of this. So guys, be careful and just be patient with each other. I don't know. Let's get to Saturday. You can see his face. Let's go. I literally just mentioned that I hope everyone's safe is okay. I didn't mean it to turn into
Who are these two? I have no clue, Satori.
Satori, we don't know who these two are half the time. Hope
Thank
you
you,
guys are
Teresa.
doing well. I saw the picture,
Yeah.
the I saw the video of Cody in the Pokemon Pikachu costume.
What?
Yeah, there's a video out there.
Oh.
She filmed Cody's in a Pikachu
I gotta see
costume.
that.
Yeah. Anyway,
happy to hear that, Tara.
Yeah, that's the main thing is that's all we hope as well. It's horrible, and I know there's one moving through the Atlantic now. So I mean, it's that time of the year where you got to kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best. But Saturday night, we were at the Inskeep, and you know, we're very fortunate. We really are, in that the places that we support, they have good people, and they're good to us. We literally, if it's either we have the keys to the place or they open the door and we lock the door on the way out. So it's like, really, really easy. We're kind of a plug and play type of thing when we go anywhere, because we've been doing it as long as we have. So it was a nice, cool, chilly night. Again, this was a good weekend in a lot of ways. I was thoroughly enjoying conversations I had this morning with people about the weekend, and I literally was in such a good mood today. And if you're out there watching, you know why. You know why. Oh. But anyway, so the Inskeep, only twice a year. Last time we went there, it was hot. It was really hot.
That's an understatement.
And let me tell you how Johnny's mama didn't raise no fool. John goes into the basement, which on that day was 10 degrees cooler than the 85 degrees it was in the rest of the house where everybody else was.
And where was Chris? Attic. The hottest room in the house.
Well, again, they can't risk me. That's the thing. It's you can't risk me.
I don't sweat, but boy, I was dripping in there, dripping on the equipment, and it was funny.
We did the Shanley in New York. The attic is the only place without air conditioner, and we were there mid-July.
Oh, you were.
And I was up there for 6 hours.
Yep.
I came down there just a sopping wet. I sweat through my clothes in 5 minutes.
It was scorching up in that attic, wasn't it, Donna? We all lost 10 pounds, didn't we?
Look, we're not.
But it was fun.
We're not doing events at the Ritz-Carlton, people.
It was like a big creme yoga class up in there that night.
All right? We're not doing events at the Ritz-Carlton. This is called real paranormal investigating. It's not, it's got to be temperature controlled, clean, perfect buildings.
And strangely enough, we had activity up there. It was crazy.
Yeah, because the spirits aren't crying about it. They're up there,
right?
They're used to living in those conditions.
Do you notice when you
prima donnas?
Do you notice when you say something that's not quite to your liking, it's you just talking about it? But if I say it, I'm crying.
Yeah, I do notice that, because I rarely cry about it. You cry about it all the time. I've been in basements where bugs have been crawling on me from everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Nobody mentions that, though.
You do. Stop crying about it. Let's move
Literally,
on.
I've been in basements where if you turn your flashlight on, the bugs are everywhere. You're better off just not even turning your flashlight on. But still, there I was. So the Inskeep house, it was a fun night. It was. There are places that back in the old days, I'm going to sound like I'm 100 years old here. Hey, Dan. Back in the old days, the docents used to stick around and they would do the history part of it. I find that doesn't happen at all anywhere anymore.
No.
So
they were tired. They had done a festival all day long there.
Well, they're never there regardless.
That's true.
But I, we get into the property. We know several generations of family had lived there. Most of these old historic buildings, if anybody kind of is aware, I mean, those people that own those farmhouses, they own like 100 acres back in the day. They owned so much land. That's what would always get me about like the Dead Files. I liked it. I like Amy Allen a lot. I think Amy Allen's awesome. But I would watch so many shows like the Dead Files and other shows where they would talk about death on the land, murder on the land, whatever on the land. Well, we talked about this before on the property. They would say that was their word, the property. Well, back in the day when the death and the murder happened on the property was probably three towns, what we would call three towns.
Yeah.
They owned that much land. So the death probably didn't even occur within 500 feet of the house. It may have been a mile from the house. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So we don't have the historians there like we used to. So we kind of just give a brief overview. And when I was talking to the historian of the place that we're visiting on Wednesday, I did get a lot of information, and I did a quick Wikipedia Google search, and you look for the names of the families who lived there. You look for any prominent people, and you look for, I hate to say it because you sound like a ghoul, and he laughed when I said this. You look for how many people have passed. I mean, it's just part of the paranormal.
Right.
And, me and this person were talking, and he was telling me that it was a field hospital and how many people probably, and that the battle was literally on the grounds of the building. And it was just like, okay, great. Wow. And I've gotten to the point now where this is going to be a real bad analogy, but it's like almost like a composer or songwriter listening to someone cite lyrics and going, "Oh, that's a good line. Oh, that's a good hook. Oh, that's a good line. Oh, that's," because again, I'm listening for what people are experiencing there, the people who lived there, who may have passed in the house, who their kids were. Did any of the siblings pass? Did any battles take place? Is there anything in the adjacent areas? That's kind of what I'm listening for. And
the
kind of
scintillating part of what's
and the overall history of the house, but I'm not really like bogging myself down in the entire, especially of a 300-year-old building or something like that. So anyway, so we do the event, and I'm down in the basement, and I really like that basement because there's somebody down there who did something.
That old stove thing down there scares the bejeebies out of me.
Well, it had nothing to do with the old stove.
I know.
But that'll.
I'm just saying it.
See what I mean, it's like. Yes, thank you, Kathy. It's
she loves the basement.
Oh, there's a car that's parked across the street that I really like. I'm
talking about inside in that basement. There's a creepy old stove that it's kind of freaky looking. I don't like it. I'm just saying. But we're talking about the man down there you talked to.
How about you start with the attic first?
I wasn't in the attic this time.
Or wherever you are. Let's start with that so I can critique and comment.
I was in the scrying room.
Let's talk about that.
Where I'm not going to say what we did because I don't.
Oh no, we're gonna
no.
But we're gonna comment on what people were saying.
I did something different this time.
Let me tell you what it was.
No, if you do, I'm gonna smack you.
You heard it, right?
I'm gonna smack him.
You heard it. File it.
But I tried something different on a smaller scale, and it worked pretty good. I think what was really cool is that when I'm doing scrying with people in the room, and Colleen was with me, and we were both doing it jointly, and I have this thing where when people are scrying, because people are afraid to share, kind of have to draw it out of them. It's intimate. It's sometimes you just don't want to share what you're seeing, what doesn't seem to be normal. And I love watching people and they don't realize they're reacting without saying anything. And there was a girl that was there, and she reacted, and I stopped everything and I said, well, what's happening right now? Tell me right now what's happening to you. And she literally said, I've got a buzzing in my ear, and then something is starting to appear in my mirror. How crazy is that? And that's just off of watching somebody physically react. That's what I love doing, stuff like that, is watching people reacting when they don't know somebody's watching them, and they don't know that they're reacting. They think that they're just sitting there doing what they're doing, and they don't realize that they're giving clues. So that was kind of cool. And once that happened, it seemed to open up. I don't know if it was a surge of energy or if it just opened something up, but there seemed to be more interaction that started happening. People seeing things, people feeling things, and that was kind of cool. That was really cool. But did anything really over the top happen? No, I think just people seeing faces. Luann seeing stuff in her crystal ball that was insane. And she usually doesn't see stuff when she scries. And she was seeing scenes in our crystal ball.
I have theories about Luann, but
I know you do.
Luann and I have talked about that. I think Luann sees a lot of things, but throughout the course of her days and nights, I love her, but that South Jersey water changes you.
And I think when I'm scrying, it's not just about the scrying thing. I like stop, John. I like when I know that there are certain people that have a hard time uh, calming themselves and stilling their minds enough to do something, and that I can show them tricks on how to calm their anxiety or to do a breathing technique that kind of changes things a little bit for them. I actually did that with a couple of people, and it worked. I showed them that they could do that for themselves, and it works. So that's what I took away from what we were doing last night.
Now,
or the night before.
Let me ask you something.
Fire.
Did I interrupt you at all?
You interrupt me all the time. You talk over
synopsis
the top of me,
yours.
And you just listen, Dr.
Wait. Just
listen,
answer the question.
No, because you had that
Did I
planned.
interrupt you once?
You had that planned.
Did I interrupt you?
For some people,
once?
They like the mirror. Some like the crystal balls, and other pendulum, and many are the water. And that's true, Colleen.
Did I interrupt once as you?
No, because you knew you were going to do that and say that. That's why you didn't interrupt.
No,
Usually I don't
interrupt because I wasn't there, so I couldn't comment on the things
that happened. I just said I
there.
don't like that.
I didn't say I really like the chair that's in that room while you were in the middle of your story. So therein lies the difference of being polite.
Sounds like a married couple.
Being polite and considerate,
been, George and
being someone
for
who's just
years,
rude and just chimes in whenever they.
And if you notice, usually
like
I don't get to talk. So go ahead, take it away, Captain.
No, just saying. they probably noticed it too. Did I say, oh, I particularly like the decorations or the mirrors? No, I kept quiet. I let you finish.
You do realize that was like a setup, right?
Set up nothing.
I
just wanted to show them
children separate corners.
I wanted to show them the difference.
He's in a good mood today.
I wanted to show them
they
the
sound
difference.
Like these all the time, right, Dan?
Oh, they can see the difference. Yeah. Look, now that I've proved my point,
okay,
I can continue on.
You can.
With where Scorpio, I was at the time.
Yes, Scorpio. Tell us your one.
And people were commenting on my area when
they did.
You so brutally.
They said they liked your lights.
Yeah, that's right. And you were talking about an old stove.
I know, because it was creepy.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, he's in a great mood.
Oh, I am. You have no idea.
He is.
You have no idea what a good mood that I'm in. The karma was raining down this weekend. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway, so the basement, every time I go down there, it started, I don't know how many investigations ago, that every now and then you're able to kind of plug in to that frequency or that person or that spirit or that incident or something where you trigger something or someone and they.
Is it always the same one?
Need I make my point again?
I'm just curious. Are you always plugging into that same one?
Are you watching? Are you watching? Did I not stay quiet the whole entire time? Did I mention that in a bowl someone saw male anatomy? Did I mention that as part of your...
I didn't say it either.
Well, I could have interjected that, but I didn't.
Oh, someone saw a body part and they're scrying and it was hysterical.
I didn't mention that.
I didn't either, but yeah, you did.
But anyway.
That was a hoot.
It was a hoot indeed. A hoot. Who says hoot? Do you think anybody says hoot except on Disney or on black and white TV?
I do.
Hoot. Ah, what a horrible word. Well, you pause for him. You're right, Dan. My fault. My fault. I took a breath.
Which he never does.
I took a breath.
But he's so happy.
My fault. Totally my fault. So anyway, put that on a t-shirt. Yeah, well, I'm not putting that on a t-shirt. Somebody else may want to, not me. But anyway, if I can get through just the beginning of my story, I'll be happy in the next 20 minutes, but we'll see. But I know, Dan, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me. Dan, you and I, and John McGinnis, the three of us we share a brain.
Earlier in the conversation.
So anyway, it was, I don't know how many times ago. I know it was either last year. It was probably last year where I first encountered this person who I first don't know how I came to provoke this person with religious provocation. I stumbled upon this archway, and I don't know if it had to do with an altar or religion. It could have just been something in an old house that they cut out to store meat or canned goods or whatever. But I had Kathy or someone put a cross in there, or John Nielsen put a cross in there, and it triggered everything in the room. Somebody was not happy with that. And then I started getting something from a man saying something about a female, and something happened, and it was just really weird, like what was coming through. And every time since, this person has been giving me information about, now again, properties were huge, the land was extensive, doesn't mean it happened there in that building. It could have been on the property somewhere. I don't know. But this person gives me more and more and more every time I go there. But it's basically the same, but with a little more. And I like and dislike that about the situation, because we sort of rehash the other stuff, and then he gives me little tidbits more. Like he gave me entire names of people. He was saying the name Beth as a woman, Robert and Bob and Kevin. He kept repeating those names as people that were involved in this thing. And the new gadget that I have, which I'm not going to mention, which you'll see at the first Creeper Gallery, I'm going to bring it to the Creeper Gallery tomorrow. So you'll see it there for the first time in action. And this thing is cool. And there are several gadgets that I have that have really good premises and good ideas behind them. Excuse me, but they don't work because I won't say they're made too well, but it takes a lot to engage and activate them. I have a little, you guys may have seen it before. It's a REM ball. It's just a circle, but it's a REM pod. But you have to touch that REM ball. It's not a proximity. You can't get close to it or wave your hand around it. You think it takes too much energy? Have to. Yeah, I think it takes too much of a touch. It takes a human touch, for lack of a better. It takes a human touch.
Trying to build up that kind of energy to create something like that is pretty tough.
And I have another little light too that you have to tap the top. That's the only way to activate it is by giving it one of these.
Another thing is pretty cool.
It takes a good tap though.
Yeah.
And that's cool. This one runs more on motion, and it's got a pretty good, but again, I'll show you that another time. But that was interacting. It wasn't going off at all with the first group. And as a second group came down, I'm like, this is one of those gadgets that I have that is never going to light. It's never going to light because it takes, I thought, again, a more of a human pattern and a human presence or touch. And lo and behold, second group didn't light up for any other group.
Something about that.
One group, which was really, really freaking cool when it was happening. And then another gadget that I have that never, ever, ever goes off. The box that Steve gave us, that square brick that has the PIR sensor on it, that detects, when it detects motion, it lights up. He has a design where there's lights all around that lights up the room. I put it somewhere and I forget about it because it never goes off.
And it went off.
Last group, Nick was like, what is that light over there in that room that keeps going off? and I thought I left my tripwires
Right.
in a basket, and if they touch, they go off. And I'm like, where? And he's like, right over there. And I look out in the hallway, and I'm like, son of a bee, that light's going off. It never goes off. Went off, went back on, and so it was pretty darn good. And not to mention what we were getting as far as answers
So
and
that one
voices.
group that those lights were going off with that didn't go for any other group, was that because you had, like what I think, in your group?
What happened was, um, we were doing what we were doing. I used this. They have what's called an embalming board. It looks like a coffin, but it's cut out, and it's just a board, and it's thin, like what, plywood.
Yeah.
And that I had it in front of that because I think spirits are attached to that as well. And I just mapped a little tiny figure above the embalming board. And I'm like, oh, that looks like a child. So I'm like, hey, you want to try a game? I got this really cool thing that I'm trying, blah, blah, blah. And as we're talking and doing an EVP session, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a light go off. And I said, did that just go off? And they were like, yeah, it just went off twice. So I stepped closer to it, and I asked whoever to do it again, and nothing happened. And I said, you know what, everybody, me included, everybody just take 2 steps back. Oh, wait, give whoever that is space, because they seemed to be doing it before when we were, and sure enough, everything started going off on it. And it was just like, wow. And even Kathy was like asking specific questions with specific colors type of things.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool. But there is something going on there in that basement with someone who,
Oh, come on.
yeah, who is really, he said alcohol, he said whiskey, he said poison, he said a lot of things down there. And that guy is when I first turned on the obelisk, he said priest. And several times during the investigation, he said heaven. I think I'm down there for 4 hours, woodshed. I'm down there for 4 hours. I get to hear everything every night that I'm there. I think this is someone who may have done something and is afraid of being judged and stays earthbound because
He doesn't want to be judged.
he's afraid of there might be a.
Hi, Jerry. Welcome.
Thank you for joining us, Jerry. This is kind of just a conversation. It's just like Seinfeld, a show about nothing. We just talk about everything, our events and things that we do and stuff that's coming up. But if you watch tomorrow night, you'll see a live investigation of haunted objects from the Creeper Gallery, which I noticed a lot of groups are now bringing haunted objects to their events and investigating them.
Great idea.
Great idea. Original concept. Congratulations to all of you. Anyway, but yeah, it was from my night. You guys want to talk about what happened in other places? You could do that in the comments and we'll read it. Again, Chris was doing one thing in one place. I'm in another. Danielle was in another. Tanya and Kenny were in another. So I know different things happen in different places. Again, we were kind of tired afterwards, so we just went to the Wawa and got our usual
Yeah, we
egg,
really
egg
didn't
and
talk
cheese.
about.
So, yeah, we didn't talk about the event.
That's why. So if you were with Tanya and Kenny and you and things happened, or with Danielle and stuff, and you had experiences, go ahead and share them with us and just tell us now how the night went. I know that a woman. Some people saw a woman in the scrying mirror. Some people saw their faces disappear or slide off. It was kind of weird night. I got a picture of a spirit on the SOS.
Yeah, I saw that one on the chair. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
That was pretty cool. And literally we're sitting in the chair. I mean, no doubt about it. And here's one of the things too. We had a really cool group of people with us Saturday night, and I give if I give skeptics credit, even if they don't fully believe or whatever, I do give them credits for going through the motions because, we've all been dragged to things that we didn't want to do because the person we're with really likes those sort of things. And that happens every now and then with our events. You could tell
Yeah.
That, sometimes it's the boyfriend or the husband that's really into it and the wife not so much, or vice versa. Um, but I do give people credit for going around and just trying the different things and then seeing if it changes their mind even a little bit, or if they enjoy it or if they don't enjoy it. I mean, that's really what we do. We don't guarantee anything. You can't, you
Not
know.
possible.
I mean, it is what it is. We were talking about, again, this project thing that we're working on or whatever. We get a couple of hours to do what we do, and whatever happens happens. Whereas on the ghost hunter shows, if you watch any of them, there are 3 nights, hours upon hours of investigating.
Hey, Rachel.
And they show 20 minutes of what they captured. And we get an hour or 2 or 4 hours with a bunch of people, and whatever happens happens. And it's, some people like it, other people think it's something different. And our events are never ever going to be where you wander around on your own.
No. You know what was really cool that happened with the scrying? Somebody saw the throat slit in the mirror. That's bizarre. Hey, Marianne. There you go. Hey, John Nielsen.
I was just talking about you, John. You missed it. Your ears must have been ringing. So, like I was saying, our events aren't events where you're ever going to wander on your own. Not going to happen. And I probably should post that, on the ads more. But, there are people that ask us, and then usually by the end of the event, it doesn't matter to them that they weren't able to. They have a good time and they come back and they want to do another event. But that'll never be our events, ever.
We're investigating together.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of this, is that, whether you've been doing this for a while or whether you're new to it, we're doing it together. We're investigating together.
Thank you,
Dan. We're
Dan.
mixing the energies. We're mixing the group. We're going into different places, doing different things, and we're seeing what happens together in real time.
Yeah.
Not leaving you in a room. I know other groups out there, and I've seen them where they literally take you around once and then they're like, okay, here. And a lot of people like that. That's fine. There is no right or way to do it. There really isn't. But I'm talking about our way,
Thank you, ladies.
I enjoy inviting and investigating with people every time we do it. I do. And I hope that shows. Yeah, I'm tired sometimes, but it doesn't stop my curiosity from what happens group after group, hour after hour. It really does, especially when things are going on. Like Saturday night, I'm like, hey, man, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And I fill the group in that just came in, what happened before them. And
you just
boom.
keep the momentum going.
You have to.
Yeah.
You're building. You're again, I say this with objects and I say this with buildings, and I mean it. You're trying to get as much as you can out of that time. That's the goal, And for me, I spend every second of that time doing it.
Yeah.
I do. And Jake gets excited when something happens. I'm hooked.
Excited and run.
Yeah. Well, some of us get excited, and some of us
run. I said it.
I'm gonna clip that, and you're gonna see. I literally was not prepared for seeing it again. I knew where it was, and it's a really good clip because that bang is so loud.
And it wasn't as loud for you as it was for me.
And again, Danielle was with us. Danielle's reaction is camera steady,
never
filming me, and I'm in the chair, and this is exactly what I do. I'm listening back to an EVP or something, and I'm asking a question, and I go, and that's it. I pick my head up like, wow, what was that? That's the reaction of me and Danielle.
You weren't out there in that dang mind by yourself.
The human flash if you watch the movie The Flash, was under the gate, the chain link fence, and standing right by me.
They weren't out
It
there.
Literally,
Pitch dark.
if that was the
By
Olympics,
myself.
that was the Olympics, hands down. She'd have had it.
I would have won the gold medal.
Man, I never seen her move that fast. It was.
Don't tell me that didn't intimidate you after you went out there and you realized that it was nothing that made that sound. That was something that you couldn't identify.
I don't know if intimidating is the word. It's more. It's an adrenaline. Look, after something like that, yeah. Are you a little leery walking around there by yourself? Yeah, for sure. Because whatever they knocked over or banged on, that was a loud bang. It was force enough to go boom. It wasn't just
guys. This is rock. We're in a mine.
Well, it was metal, I know. It had to be a sheet of metal that dropped or they banged in it. It was metal for sure.
That's the sound of metal, but there's rock all around. I mean, the only thing that would make that noise would be one of those big doors over there. And when you opened and you did the doors, it still didn't make the same sound. And why you got a smirk on your face? Chris, hold a hula hoop around your waist. I bet you'll be beside a circle.
That is a
Thank you, Teresa.
Genius.
I still run with it.
Genius. Genius.
Oh my goodness.
We are going to create for Chris.
You like me, Teresa.
We are going to create for Chris a hula hoop that it kind of attaches.
It's all done with phone.
It's like a belt that with lights on it. And I do have to say this, and Nikki, if you're watching, I know you're watching. Nikki brought the holy water, like Nikki always does. And because I knew religious provocation could affect this person,
crusted with salt,
I literally wouldn't tell people. I'd sit them in the chair, I'd put the blindfold on them, we're doing what we're doing, and I'd come up behind them and I'd put the holy water on either side of them.
Didn't know it?
And I'd wait to see what would come through the yes day. Yeah. And sometimes it was pretty good. It was all kind of. It was what he was saying was constant. It was not repetitive, but it was within the same.
Like he wanted you to hear what he was saying.
Yeah, it was all about the same thing. Nothing made him angry or bitter or anything. Okay. It was just. But like I said, I took that thing and she's like, "Do you want me to leave it with you?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, wow.
And so next group come down. I'm like, "Everybody take a swing." Because this is getting a little hairy down here. and it did. It was I love experimenting. And
yes, we did.
Creates
Nikki loved it.
Nikki, and from now on, I want you to, when Chris is standing somewhere, just take the holy water and make a circle around her. And make like 4 circles. So if she runs, there's
levels.
There's different circles she could run to. One on this corner of the room.
What level can
one
you
in that
make?
corner of the room. So she has options as far as.
What do I get if I make it to the outer ring?
No, I like the hula hoop. The hula hoop was definitely the best part of that.
Teresa.
But I'm looking to, and I know, again, Chris is tired, and, I say all the time, I commit myself to many, many things, and I should be committed to a lot of things. But they're my commitments. And I do want to go to the Creeper tomorrow.
Of course you do.
And I do want to try out the new gadgets there. And it's been multiple weeks since we investigated any objects there. So I'm looking forward to going back there with the new gadget, 2 of the new gadgets, and seeing what the interaction, if any, is.
This might be an alone trip for you if I'm not up for it.
As long as I got my buddy,
I'm tired.
As long as I can reach out to Taylor and she can do the TikTok part of it,
you're good.
I'm good. And but I'm gonna need another camera. My laptop sucks, so I can't use that as a camera. That was like being, how you wear your glasses and you go outside and they fog up on you.
Yeah.
That's what the laptop looked like, the camera, when I tried to do it there. But no.
I can take my phone. I just don't, we won't be able to have any communication.
Okay, you're saying like it's a bad thing. I would
That
take
would
your
mean
phone.
that
No,
I
God,
would depend
no.
on you guys to
no,
watch
no, no.
over him.
God forbid something happened and you needed your phone. I wouldn't do that.
I
To you.
have neighbors and stuff.
No,
There's ways
if God
to.
forbid something happened,
There's
no.
there's way. I used to
I have
live
neighbors.
with
This
no
isn't
phone stuff. It's like,
1929 where they're going to open up the window and shout out, "Hey, Dolores, come upstairs," like the honeymooners. "Hey, Alice, your mother's on the phone."
if we had an apocalypse or whatever,
I
you
have
would
neighbors who
you
have
would
phones.
like you would freak
What
out.
year are we in?
I'm in a town. There's accessible to all kinds of things. I would be fine.
What year? I have a payphone down the street. I can. Oh my goodness! I
Ooh,
have neighbors.
that sounds good, Deb. I like those
I have
myself.
neighbors. What the hell?
Edith.
No, I one of the clips I clipped for the library presentation, spoiler alert, is the footsteps and
Ooh,
the empty creeper.
I am happy. I love John.
Watching that again freaked me out even more. That freaked me out.
It did. I know it did.
Because at least when we heard the bang, it was still me, you, and Danielle.
Yeah, but you knew you were in that.
So there was comfort in numbers, strength in numbers. But I knew I was in that building alone. And I was more afraid of have people broken in. That was my concern. The fear was, am I going to have to confront people that are in here to steal stuff?
Why do we feel safe in numbers? Especially when it's
with you,
the unknown.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't.
Let me say, with Danielle, I feel a little more secure. You, I know you're.
Bang.
Yeah. But like, did you hear that? Where's? Wait, I hear my car starting. Where? But no, I don't feel secure and safe. If the stuff's going down in the building or
well, if it's a human being, then and it's those types of, like, if it's tangible, I'm rock solid.
No, humans scare me more. I mean, again, if there were people up there robbing the place,
I would be there. I would take care of it.
I would have had to.
I'd be there right with you taking care of it.
I would have had to confront them, and who knows where that would have went.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, that's scary. That's but it's dangerous.
But the fact that nobody was there, I went right down again. Let's ask yourself this, ponder this, riddle me this, people. Switch gears. This one's in that building alone in that basement, right? This one hears footsteps above her head.
I'll be out the door so fast, make your head spin.
She investigates, sees there's no one in the building. Is she going back down to that basement?
No way, Jose. No, that's an easy answer. That's not even a riddle. That is a fact. That is one of the things that is chiseled in stone.
What did John do?
She's not going in there.
John checked the building and...
Yeah, he would have to, Patricia. That's true.
Went right back down in that basement. Right back down in that basement. No. Because why? Because I felt like somebody up there, it wasn't a person.
Didn't give you a full deck?
Somebody up there was walking around, listening, wanted to let me know they were there. And if they wanted to come mess with me some more, you know where to find me. And
but how does
there's only one way in and out of that basement, that door.
I know.
So if they wanted to shut that door and lock me in there,
you were stuck.
I was stuck.
Why
That's part of the thrill of
doing.
That's a
thrill.
God. How many people here would put themselves in that situation?
They all go, yeah. You got, because
you're
all nuts.
Let's see it. How many?
Listen, I don't do haunted houses because if you scare me, I'm likely to punch you. I've done it. That's why I don't do haunted houses. I don't do anything where something's going to jump out and do the scare thing. I actually have, there's 2 different times in my life that I punched somebody on a scare. And I felt horrible after because they didn't mean like they were doing what they were supposed to do. So I don't do those things.
No.
I know myself.
Terry, that's a good point, and I probably should because
Nikki's in.
I know Nikki's in.
I know Deb's in.
But
Christina says she's in.
That's something I probably should.
But you're by yourself.
Consider. But I'm
in all by yourself.
I mean, again, I like even tomorrow night, if I'm there by myself, I'm checking that door, and I'm making sure it's locked. And I know, but yeah, again, if I hear someone walking
Hey,
around and
Susan.
stuff, and that door open, then yeah, I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be like, holy crap, what's going on here? Have you ever done? No, I'm not. That's her thing. I have no puzzles. I hate puzzles.
I love puzzles.
I don't have patience for puzzles. It's just such a, I don't know,
What?
waste of time.
It exercises the brain.
And my daughter loves escape rooms. She loves them. To me, it's just a waste of time.
Now, I don't like escape rooms that have where they have zombies like attached on chains, and you got to solve the riddle or the puzzle before the zombies get loose and stuff. That kind of stuff I don't like.
I'm with you on that, John. Yeah, I never really liked puzzles as a kid.
I love
like
puzzles.
even like the Barney puzzles, like with Elmo and stuff
Smart, Terry.
that I had to do with my son that only had like 4 pieces. I hated them.
He doesn't like card games. He don't like board games. He don't like. I mean, it's like, oh my goodness. No. I tried to teach him hand and foot. He wanted no part of it. I mean, and that's fun.
I did an escape room once. I still be in there. Do I look shocked, Luann? Do I look even surprised? I would be the same way, Luann. I'd be off to the side though because I'd be so disinterested that I wouldn't even.
That's why you partner up with somebody that's quick on they can think and
So, oh no.
Oh, hand and foot is really cool.
Tamara,
I will write it all out for you
tomorrow. Are you crazy?
I will write it all.
Are you crazy? It is the dumbest.
No, it's not.
Game.
No, it's not.
You literally have 1,000 decks of cards.
You have an extra deck for every person.
What happened was they couldn't teach the hillbillies how to play 5-card and 7-card games. So they just gave them they gathered all the decks that they had in the trailer park or the tree.
He's talking
or the tree people.
Hoo-hoo.
And they just got together and they made up a game that they all could play. And that's what happened. Makes no sense.
Talking at his hoo-hoo guys.
No
You
sense.
don't know what he's talking about. Hand and foot is awesome. When we all get together, that's the game we play.
No, you believe me. She tried playing it with my kids and they were just like, what is this now? My dream is to investigate.
Because your kids are like you.
And sleep over in that house. I like the idea of, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie 1408 with John Cusack.
Yeah.
That movie, that would be my dream job, honestly, to be able to drive across the country and spend the night in haunted bed and breakfast or haunted hotels in their most haunted room.
Even if they were murdered in there?
Review it. Yeah, that would be my absolute dream job. I would love that. I would love that.
That's your dream.
To get paid for it too? I would love that.
What got disconnected with you? What happened to you? Why would that be exciting?
See? Love that movie. You guys wouldn't want to do that? It was a great movie. But you wouldn't want to do that? See, I know Nikki would do it too. That would be a dream job. Imagine that, like going somewhere like in wherever, somewhere in Kentucky somewhere, in some old rundown building that, is safe, not like crackheads living in it and stuff, but knowing like the whole family got
why don't we just
wiped out,
up the ante and put some more challenge and have all of that around you?
Oh, I would love that.
You like the adrenaline rush?
I would love that. That would be my dream job, really.
And what happens if something really happened?
If I could pick a job, that would be my job.
And what if something really, really freaky happened? What if it really...
That's why I would do it.
Because you're hoping something really bad and horrifying would happen?
We can't do that as a 14. It was 1408, I believe. Yeah, 1408.
Well, he's going to arrange for y'all to sleep over in the Bloody Mine.
See, that was y'all and bloody. She used hillbilly and English. Wow. For a long weekend. Well, we're working on stuff. We've got a plan for next year that I don't want to mention because as soon as I mention anything, I literally see it go up on other groups' pages.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not kidding. Literally.
We just mentioned the other day, someone else just announced that they're doing it.
The next day, it literally goes up on their page. So
there you go, Deb.
When we decide what we're doing next year as part of this thing that we want to do, we'll announce it, and you guys will definitely be part of it, and it'll involve things along the lines of what we're talking about. Hello, Sharon. How are you? Um, so yeah, we're planning some cool stuff for next year for sure. And I talked to John Zaffis today, and you guys know how I feel about him. He one of the best in the field. I respect him more than anyone. Go to him. Him and I talk about a lot of stuff in general, and we laugh together about a lot of things. And he really enjoys doing events with us, and I really enjoy doing events with him. So we were kind of talking about next year, and he's like, I want to do stuff with you guys. I want to do more stuff with you guys, and I want to do more stuff with him, and we'll figure out a way to do that in a different type of way. And again, I don't want to get too much into it, but um, we'll be doing some different stuff next year, along with the stuff that we've been doing. But we want to add these different things because we want to add them for ourselves too, because we want to do different things as well. So I know that's really vague and cryptic, but
where is Trans Allegheny?
I don't know.
That's really great to hear, Sharon.
Oh, that's really good to hear.
Really
I hope she's doing really well. I really do. I really do. I hope she's okay. I love it. Me, like I said, John Zaffis, it's like Yoda. I just sit there and I just soak it all in. There's only two people that I've sat there with, and I literally soaked every word that they said in to what they were talking about the paranormal. And it was John Zaffis and Grant Wilson. I felt like I was a student sitting at a desk with the paranormal professor in front of me, just hitting me with stuff that was out of my wheelhouse as far as my perceptions and ideas and beliefs. Yeah. But man, there was so much stuff in there that made some sense and fit into what I believed, only in another way, that I added it all to my current belief system as far as, again, that flow chart that I keep talking about. Here's what I used to believe. Block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks that started down here. Now it's, Yeah. And those guys, whew, it is. It's like going to school, and an hour or two goes by and you're just like, wait. Wow. It just started. Wow. Like, can we do this again, like tomorrow and like next week? And because I love the way they think. I do. I really do. It's really fascinating. So tomorrow night, we're going to start early again because it is the Creeper Gallery. It is the school year. There are people upstairs, and we know there are kids up there. Yeah. So we're going to start earlier. We're going to start at 7. So, well, not we, I mean me. I'm going to start at 7. I'm going to be done at 9 so I can get home by 10:30, decent time, watch some TV, unwind. But 7 o'clock for sure I'm starting. So if that's early for people, I get it. Some people are just getting home, they want to eat or whatever. I'm starting at 7. That's the good time to start. Last time we did that, we got like 2,000, 3,000 people watched that one investigation. So that's true, Laura. It's dark by 7. I will be starting at 7. I will be live from the Creeper Gallery alone with 3 objects or 2 objects, however many I get to. And darn well that at least one of them, poke the bear. One of them are going to, and maybe I'll bring out the what? Fon Bon Jovi one again. Oh, the Fon fetish? Fon, what is it called? Fon something? Fon fetish. Fon Bon Jovi fetish. Fon fetish. Maybe I'll bring that one out again. This way, Chris can't stop me this time. Well, and then you can't, but you will have nobody to be mean to. It will be just you building. I'm mean to myself. I can be mean to. That'll be on you. I like 7. Yeah, 7's a good time, I think. I think 7's the perfect time. Perfect time. No, I'll pick 2 new objects because she's got a lot of new stuff. Yeah. So anyway, see you guys tomorrow at 7. Thank you guys for watching and supporting us. And like I said, we got other stuff coming up. We're going to do the live German club investigation if we do this other place that we're talking about, we may do that live as well. Um, the library events are coming up. I have to create posters for them. They're going to be in Trenton, Clark, and Linden, and and the November 16th,
Yep.
Burlington Prison. Come
Guys,
hang out
come
for
hang
that
out
open
with us
house.
and we could talk
That'd
and
be
hang
awesome.
out. That's the fun part of doing that. Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And please, it's really important, especially now with all the stuff going on, be kind to each other. It makes a big difference. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.